Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we start the first race of the round of 8 as we get ready to decide 4 drivers that will compete for a championship in Homestead, Miami. We currently sit 3rd in the Final 4, so we're in the Final 4 and you see 5th on back has really got some work to do to make it into the next round, go for a championship in Miami. They likely have to win, and we're coming to a track in Martinsville that I usually run pretty well at, so I was pretty confident. We made it to the 3rd session in qualifying as we came through turns 3 and turns 4. He's coming through to set a pretty good lap. We would come across the line, we go P4 at the moment, hit a 19.1, and we would call it there, and we will start in the 5th position to start the first race of the round of 8 here in Martinsville.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, the NASCAR playoffs continue at Martinsville Speedway for the running of the first Data 500. Only 8 drivers still have a shot to take home that coveted Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series championship. Now, to advance, those drivers are going to have to tame the shortest track on the schedule. But don't let Martinsville's small stature fool you. This classic venue still packs quite a mean punch. The drivers are on the track. We're ready to go racing.
Alright, we are ready to go green here in Martinsville for the first Data 500. Martin Truex Jr. still mad at us, so we gotta watch over him. He is starting actually behind us, so hopefully it won't be too much of a concern as we get ready to go green here with Clint Boyer, our teammate on the pole, alongside Kyle Larson, 2 recently eliminated drivers as we're ready to go green, and the green flag is out, and we are underway here in Martinsville as we head down towards turns 1 and 2 for the first time at this paperclip track. Now as Chase Elliott's up there on the outside, now as we have Denny Hamlin on our outside as we come down the back straightaway behind Kyle Busch. Clint Boyer off to a brilliant start as we head down into turns 3. Boyer eliminated in that first round of the playoffs, so obviously he's got nothing to lose at this point as we get pretty loose on the exit of turn 4. Now as we still hang on the inside of Kyle Larson as we would move through to take the 3rd position away from him. So a great start for us here in Martinsville as we head down towards turn 3. The top 2 cars got away pretty quickly there of Boyer and Kyle Busch, and we tried to set our sights on them and be able to run them down, but certainly early on in this race they were the class of the field. I was having a really tough time running them down as you have Joey Logano behind me, one of the other big 4 drivers you could say this season as we come down the back straightaway. And by the time we came to lap 14 in the stage, still the same scenario, except that we were starting to close in now on lap traffic. And obviously the AI aren't very good at nursing their way through lap traffic at this racetrack, same as places like Dover, maybe Darlington as well, so we knew we were going to have a decent opportunity at least. And by the time we came to lap 20, you see Kyle Busch and Clint Boyer battling side by side for the lead, trying to work their way through lap traffic, but it wasn't working very well for them, and they had to make a decision. If I went to the top, would that be the faster way to go right now, or would the bottom be faster? So I decided maybe we should at least try out the top where Boyer is and see if we can make that work. So we jump up here for a moment and see if we're going to go down into turns 1 and try it. And we do try, and that allows Joey Logano on the 22 to stick his nose up my inside as we have 4 drivers right here battling it out for the lead now as we go down into turns 3. And no one on this front row can get clear of each other, and it was making it very difficult now as we come through side by side with the 22 of Joey Logano as we come across the line 2 by 2 here for 1st through 4th as we come through out of turn 2. Logano still there on my inside as no one can get ahead of this lap traffic as we come down towards turn 3 on the bumper of Clint Boyer, making sure I don't punt him out of the way or anything though as we exit turn 4. Just nowhere to go at this moment as we get a little bit loose there on the exit of the corner as we head down towards turns 1, which is 10 to go now in stage 1, so we're just trying to manage the car the best we can and try to get maybe a stage win out of it now as Kyle Busch just about clears Boyer going into turns 3, but he couldn't quite do it as we come through turn 3 and out of turn 4. This time though we get really loose and we have to get out of the throttle, and that would certainly set us back. And by the time it came to lap 26 though, still right with these guys as Kyle Busch finally did get clear of Clint Boyer for the lead as we hit 27 of 31 in the stage. 5 to go at this point as we get a caution as we go into turns 1. Could not find what it was for, but obviously this would set us up for a 2-lap dash to end the stage, and we're starting 4th, so not what we need as we get ready to go green here for a late shootout in the stage. The green flag is out. We are underway once again here alongside the 14 of Clint Boyer as we head down into turns 1. 2 laps to decide the stage 1 victor, and it looks like it's going to be Kyle Busch as he comes down the back straightaway. He wants to lock himself into this next round, as last season he should have been in the Final 4, but he had 2 blown engines in this round of 8, which took him out now as we come out of turn 4. Down the front straightaway, losing 1 position here on this opening lap since we restart as we take the white flag in stage 1. Our teammate Kevin Harvick sends it up the inside as we have really all the big 4 drivers here in the top 6 as we try to make it up the middle of Logano down the straightaway. As we go into turn 3, we're going to make it 3 wide up the outside of him and Harvick. As we come out of turn 4, we're going to try and steal the position from Logano, and we will come through to cross the line and get P5 just at the end over Joey Logano there in the stage. And we certainly could have had a better result in stage 1, I think a couple, maybe 2 or 3 spots better, but we would not pit, no one would have to pit, so we would stay out and get ready to restart in the 5th position, which will hopefully allow us to just get through up to P3 very shortly now as we get ready to start this 2nd stage. Kyle Busch, your stage 1 victory now as we go green here in the 2nd stage, and the green flag is out, and we are underway for the 2nd stage now behind the 2 of Keselowski, the Penske driver. He's pretty much in a must-win situation, just like 5th through 8th is already at this point in the round of 8. Now as we come out of turn 2, clearing Kevin Harvick, our teammate, moving into the 4th position very quickly now as we head down into turn 3, sending it up the inside of our teammate of Clint Bowyer as we try to move up another position to take P3 as we come through to complete the first lap of stage 2 side by side with our teammate Clint Bowyer into turns 1, pushing up just a little bit, but we would come out of turn 2 able to clear the 14 of Clint Bowyer now as we head down into turns 3 behind the 2 of Brad Keselowski as Kyle Busch tries to run away with this lead early on in the stage now as we cross the line to complete the 2nd lap with 28 to go now in this 2nd stage as we ride behind the 2 of Brad Keselowski. They battled it out behind us between Bowyer and Harvick as we head down towards turn 3, so certainly a good start for us in this race, and if we can just have a good solid race here, we'll be really in good shape for making the final 4 now as we come through to complete that 3rd lap, just continuing to set a good pace here as I did make a few adjustments to this car. I put the right rear tire pressure up just a little bit, and I put the wedge down to, I think it was 49 flat. By the time we came to lap 12 of 30 in the 2nd stage, Kyle Busch had completely driven away, and we get into the wall as we get very loose on the exit of turn 2 as a big moment for myself, but we would hang on to the car, thankfully, and keep in it now as we just had a lot of oversteer on the exit of the corner, and I overcorrected straight into the wall, but fortunately we stayed in it, and as they started to battle up with lap traffic ahead of us, we would join this battle between Busch and Keselowski, and we would look to the outside of Brad Keselowski as we came through to hit lap 20 of 30 in the 2nd stage as we went down towards turns 1 side by side now with the 2 of Brad Keselowski as we try to exit turn 2 and get the best exit we can as we battle side by side down the back straightaway into turn 3. Obviously we have some good considerable amount of damage on the right side of the car that we're going to have to get repaired as Kyle Busch actually got hit by Kligerman out of the way as we would kind of get stuck behind Kyle Busch as he was having a really tough time clearing Parker Kligerman as he sits in the lead still as he's behind his teammate of Eric Jones, who he tries to lap, and by the time he came to lap 22 he would get ahead of Kligerman as we went into turns 3 and turns 4 as we would stick it up the outside, but unable to make it happen as we would settle in behind him on the exit of the corner. And as we came to just 2 to go in the stage, approaching the white flag, we had a little bit of oversteer once again on the exit of turn 2. We were certainly dealing with that quite a bit in this race as we came through turns 3 and turns 4 on the back of Kyle Busch. A chance to maybe win the stage as the white flag is out here in stage 2. He is going to stay in behind the traffic, and obviously I'm going to try and capitalize on that now as we come down the back straightaway for the final time in stage 2. Busch is going to stay low, and we're going to send it up the outside as we try to steal the stage victory as we come through turns 3 and 4. We are going to edge out Kyle Busch now as it's going to be side by side to the line, but we hold on to win stage 2 here in Martinsville. So Kyle Busch dominating this race, but we were able to steal the last position away from him there to win the stage. We would have to come to pit road and repair the car, so we would give up 1 position, so we would go from P1 to P2 to start this 3rd and final stage. A great first 2 stages for us. We are certainly in good shape right now when it comes to points, as long as no one outside or 5th on back, as long as no one 5th on back gets a win, as we're ready to go green for the final stage, and the green flag is out, and we are underway side by side with 18 of Kyle Busch. Chase Elliott now has moved into the 3rd position. He has been fighting his way through traffic in this race, and he is now battling with us for 2nd as we come down through the back straightaway, trying to pull ahead of the 9 of Elliott as we go into turns 3 and turns 4, but Elliott is able to get the edge on me, and he would clear me out of turn 4 now as our teammate Harvick looks to my inside. We nearly clear him, but unable to do so as we go into turns 1, so Harvick would move through to take the 3rd position away from me as we would fall back to P4, so not the restart that we wanted. wanted, but at least we're still in the top 5, and at least we can still come out of here with a solid finish if we can maintain our pace. Now as we come out of turn 4, getting a little bit loose again, certainly dealing with quite the loose car. It was a lot looser in the race than what it was in qualifying. I had maybe on the very beginning of a qualifying run, the car was a little bit loose, but after a couple of laps it was perfectly fine. But you're seeing here in this race that it's pretty much loose throughout the whole run now as we come through turns 3 and 4, approaching lap 71 at this point with just over 50 laps to go, 55 to be exact, as we go into turns 1. Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott lead the way. Chase Elliott eliminated from the playoffs in the last round. He was in a must-win situation now as we come down the back straightaway on lap 78 behind Kevin Harvick. As we go into turn 3, there's smoke up ahead in turn 3, and it's a car around. It's Cody Ware on the apron now, and there would be no caution, of course, because the NASCAR Heat Logic, and we came around for another lap, and there would be a big checkup in front of us on the front straightaway as Cody Ware had gotten going, but he was in front of everybody, so it was all very bunched up, and I didn't know what the heck was going on, as he would finally, though, get to the bottom of the track as we would come through to pass him as we went down into turn 3 behind our teammate of Kevin Harvick, who was trying to look to the inside of Michael McDowell as we came out of turn 4, so we settled in there for a moment, but we would be able to get past our teammate of Kevin Harvick eventually and set our sights on the cars up ahead of the 9 of Chase Elliott and whatnot now as we try to look to the inside of Michael McDowell as we go down into turns 3, and we would be able to get ahead of McDowell and keep him a lap down, but like I said, we would pass Kevin Harvick and set our sights on the 9 of Chase Elliott in the 18 of Kyle Busch. Keselowski would also pass Harvick as Harvick was just riding behind the 2, I believe, of Keselowski as we came down the back straightaway heading into turns 3 here with just over 30 or so laps to go at this point. And obviously live traffic's going to be certainly a factor in how this rest of this race plays out with 37 to go as we head down into turns 1 behind Chase Elliott and Kyle Busch. As Busch, he's trying to do his best to use that outside line to actually work his way through traffic. And by the time we came to lap 91, Kyle Busch had been struggling to get through traffic, and Chase Elliott would send it up his inside. And now Elliott wants a piece of the lead. If only he could have done this last episode. One episode too late for Elliott to be going for the lead, but he can at least go for win number 2 on the season now as we come out of turn 4 behind these two, battling it out. Obviously nowhere for me to go right now. I could send it up the inside 3 wide like an idiot like Clint Boyer did in 2012 on a restart, but we're not going to do that now as we come out of turn 2 down the back straightaway all over the back bumper of Kyle Busch. I figured that he would be in the best position to move forwards now as Elliott's just stuck behind these cars on the inside, but really no one was going anywhere, and by the time we came to lap 105, Elliott would get clear of Kyle Busch and we would still be just in this train right here. But I saw the other drivers couldn't make the outside work, so I was like, well, should I just stay in line or should I make the outside work myself? And by the time we came to lap 107, still in the same situation, but I figured we need to at least maybe think about trying something because we just couldn't go anywhere on this bottom line. But I knew the outside line was certainly going to be a little bit tough to work now as we go down into turns 1 and turns 2. Chase Elliott currently in command, and by the time we came to lap 116, we had moved to the outside here, finally trying to make a move on Kyle Busch as we had passed a lap car there of Reed Sorensen, as well as we come down the back straightaway heading into turn 3. I figured this is our chance right now because Elliott had moved to the outside as well, and he was going to pass a bunch of these lap cars, so I moved to the outside, we passed Kyle Busch, and now we try to pass Eric Jones to put him a lap down as we go into turns 1 and turns 2. And now it's looking like Chase Elliott might have this race handed to him as he goes into turns 3. It would be very hard to catch him as we came to lap 119. Would stick it up the inside of Haley Deegan and try to make a pass on her as we would come through out of turn 2 and get clear. But at this point, Chase Elliott was just too far gone, and we wouldn't be able to run him down as we came out of turn 4, hitting 2 laps to go in this race. If there's no caution and Chase Elliott makes no mistakes, he is going to come out of Martinsville with the victory. Now, as Kyle Busch was still stuck in the lap traffic behind us, so we were just perfectly sitting here in second place. Obviously we're no stranger to second place now as we come through turns 3 and turns 4. The white flag is in the air for Chase Elliott now as he got eliminated last episode, and certainly one episode too late for him to be up in the lead. Now as we come through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway for the final time. A great race for us here in Martinsville, and this will certainly do us very well in the points. Now as we come through turns 3 and 4, we're going to come up a little bit short as Chase Elliott would come through to win in Martinsville, and we will come through to finish in the second position for about the 69th time in our career. So certainly not what we want to be doing, finishing second all the time, but at least we get a very good points day for us. Kyle Busch third. David Reagan actually got a top 10, so something that you don't really expect to see. Martin Truex Jr. had a pretty awful finish. He got 25th, and that's certainly going to shake things up for him, as he's probably going to be in a must-win situation himself now as we come out of Martinsville. And there you see the playoff grid. Kyle Busch is very good. We are very good. It says we're 13 to the good, but you see Keselowski is 23 behind the first car out, so we're actually 36 points to the good right now going into Texas. So we are in great shape as Keselowski on back. They all have to win if they want to get into this next round at this point. So that could really make this thing interesting, though. If one of those guys win, and it really shakes things up here between myself, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Joey Logano, as it'll be a race for one of us not to be eliminated. So it'd be kind of nice if one of those guys 5th through 8th did get a win to shake things up. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. I'd like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and other videos on my channel. We recently hit 700 subscribers. I'm very thankful for that, and thank you all for being a part of this community. In the next episode, we will be going to Texas for the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, where we see how the playoff grid will shake up once again over there. So I will see you guys in the next episode, where we see if anyone can lock themselves into the round of 4 with a victory. So thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you guys in the next video for Texas. Have a great day.